Great morning, YouTube. Great morning. I'm so excited to be here. I came to YouTube about 8 years ago, probably sooner than that, but I started posting my first videos here around 8 years ago. I posted them and pretty much just walked away like whatever. But you know what? I'm here and I'm back, and I'm so happy to be here. Now, I've been doing my Tea Talk Thursdays on Facebook, and today is my grand premiere of being here on YouTube and doing these live. And I love doing Tea Talk live because Tea Talk allows me to talk and it allows me to bond and connect with the people that join. So thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. So, just in case this is your first time here, let me just let you know my name is Amber. You can call me Amber. You can call me Coach Amber. My name is Amber Hill. I am a psychic life coach. So some people say, well, what is a psychic life coach? Well, a psychic life coach pretty much is a psychic or a certified life coach who just happens to be psychic. Now, if you're new to this channel, well, of course you are new to this channel, but if you're new to me, because there's some people who may be new to seeing me on YouTube, but not necessarily new to me because they might follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and that's where I do a lot of my live psychic readings. But guess what? All of that is transitioning because I am moving over to YouTube. So, guys, let me explain how I kind of do it. And I recognize that I need to keep my videos much shorter than I have. Usually, and when I do Tea Talk on Thursdays, I normally come on at 9 a.m. And I normally stay on here and do the talking for like 2 hours. But this is YouTube, and nobody wants to sit on YouTube for 2 hours unless it's a movie, my understanding. So we're gonna get it popping, and I'm pretty sure that depending on the participation, I'm gonna make sure that it is it's definitely gonna be much shorter than it is on Facebook, which is a little bit of a downside because I honestly enjoy the time that I have with you guys. So if you know me, then you know that what I'm doing right now is I'm about to burn sage. I always burn sage anytime I do everything, okay? Because sage is awesome for setting the mood. It's a way that my abilities know, it's time to go to work. It's a way for them to kick in. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just setting up with my white sage. I don't know if you guys burn sage. And then once I finish this, because it is called Tea Talk, I like to know what you guys are drinking. I like to know what you're drinking. Like to know what you're talking about. So this is what we do. I'm setting up this so that way I can get it popping. And that's what we're going to do. So I recognize that there's a lot of requirements for music, and there's certain music you can play in the background. So, as I get more used to doing these live videos here, I will definitely start incorporating some music that's going to be allowed. I don't want to deal with no copywriting infringement situations. So I am just setting this up so that I can go ahead and start to burn this sage. Oh, Lord. Where the heck? All right. Oh, there it is. Good. I was like, did I really come over here without my lighter? I always like to wait until I'm on to burn the sage. And all I'm doing is lighting the charcoal. And we'll get that popping. And this thing can really start popping when it gets going. It really is like a small piece of charcoal. So you can see some of the flames popping off of it. So anyway, I hope that everybody is in good spirits. And so then I want to talk to y'all about a topic. Whew. All right, I burned myself. All right, guys. So, all right. So now you guys can see the sage is going. The sage is going and the sage is blowing. I love the smell of white sage. I know that I've heard some people speaking about palo. That's a term I recently heard about, but I had never heard of it before this. So, all right. And there's also some four-directional sage. And I know some of these terms may not be something that you're very accustomed to or used to, but guess what? We will. Okay. All right. So now we have sage coming into the space to cleanse it, to clear it of all negativity. Yes, I love the smell of sage. I love it. I cleanse my home regularly, and I suggest that you cleanse your home as well. It keeps a lot of negativity, but don't forget, sage is a neutralizer. So don't just think you're taking out the negative energy. You also are taking out the positive. It neutralizes the space, which means there's no protection. So even if you sage it or smudge it, as some people say, with a mantra, make sure you incorporate some of make sure you incorporate some of the things that you can follow up with. Some people prefer Florida water. Florida water's like a kind of like a good smelling kind of like a good smelling oh Lord, what do we call it? It smells like perfume, but it's not kind of like a good smelling holy water, really, to be quite accurate and true. That's what it's like. All right, guys, you see I got a good smoke going now, huh? So needless to say, I always have to worry about my smoke alarms, right? All right, we got that done. Oh, this is beautiful. I love the smell of sage. All right, guys, so if you know Tea Talk, we're going to get into the talking, but there's some things that I always do. So we're going to go ahead and start with our breathing. Okay? We're going to start with our breathing. So let me move this keyboard. Move it over there. All right. You'll see. Have the sage going right there. All right. Awesome. So, all right. So now I want us to take a moment to pause and meditate. And I'm sorry, guys. 1 second. I want to go ahead and share this video so that my followers can know that this is what's going on right now. All right? So let's share it. All right, guys. All right, I'm just sharing this. Thank you for your patience. It is my first video, so we're going to get it together after this. We're going to get it together. All right, guys. So 1 second. All right, guys. So let me see. I need to get... All right, one more step, guys. One more. I need to share it to my business page. In case you don't know, Be Inspired Life Coaching Services is my company. And that's what I do. And I've been doing free psychic readings over there. But I had to come and see what you guys were about. So that's what I'm doing. Okay? And that's what I'm doing. So we're going to this is where I'm going to be hosting it from now on. The psychic readings and the tea talk. All right. So I look forward to that. Oh, 1 second. All right, guys, here we go. All right, so all right, guys, done with that. All right, so here we go. So now that we've gotten that out the way, first thing we need to do is we need to center ourselves. We need to focus. So we're going to get into breathing, okay? And we're not going to do a whole lot of this, but we're going to do this 5 times just to make sure that we are centered, we are focused, and we are ready to have an amazing experience, okay? Because I know that life can be so hectic and complicated and a whole bunch of stuff. So that's what we're going to do, okay? So the way that we do this is we're going to take a deep breath in, okay? Really be present in the moment when you're breathing in, okay? Just like I did. Deep, try to fill up every space of your lungs, okay? Imagine that you are breathing in the breath of life. Hold it for 3 to 4 seconds and then release it with your lips pierced like this. Until every ounce of the breath is out of your lungs. Okay, so let's do it again. You guys are doing great. Nice and slow. Once again. Okay, for these last 2 ones, what I want you to do is once you take in that breath, imagine that you are breathing in the breath of life. And then I want you to imagine that you are releasing the stress, the worry of the day. But before you finish blowing all the air out, I want you to go into a. This is not about. This is not about making the sound ah. No, lean on the breath. Okay, so it'll be like. All right, how is that? How did that feel for everybody? I loved it. It felt great to me. Okay, so anyway, all right, guys. Now that we got that out the way, it is Tea Talk Thursday. Okay, here's our tea. So most people know I drink peppermint tea. That's what I do. But guess what? I had somebody come and bring me some of her homemade cookies. And what I love about them is she has so many, right? She's got like sugar cookies. The ones that I get, have you ever been to Doubletree? She's got these cookies that taste like the Doubletree cookies, I swear. And she can do them in pecan, walnut. Let me see. I had to write it down. Pecan, walnut, macadamia nut, walnut, or cranberry. I like walnut. So I had her bring me some chocolate chip walnut cookies. And then I love her oatmeal raisin. And she throws walnuts in that too. Her cookies are amazing. So I'm just going to say, if you're at all interested, I'm just going to hold this up. She charges $12 for a dozen of cookies. I don't know if that's in reverse for you guys or not. But it's Mia's Cookies, 404-951-6448. And she makes them fresh. She literally just brought these to me. Look how big these cookies are. Do you see my hand? Like, look how big these cookies are. So, Mia, thank you so much for the cookies. Because doesn't like a muffin or a cookies or sweets go good with a cup of coffee or tea? Or is that just me? All right. Y'all have me out there by myself. It's fine. All right. All right, the next thing I like to do is let's talk about some crystals because everybody seems to love my crystals and they love me explaining a little bit about my babies. I call them my babies because they're amazing and I love them. And they all have such unique characteristics and looks and they offer different energies. So this is the one that I'm going to talk about right now. Wonder if you guys can guess it. Let me get that closer. Do you see it? It's a beautiful stone, right? I wonder if anybody can guess what this one is. This is zebra stone. Okay? So let me tell you about a zebra stone. Zebra stone is a stone that can help us connect to Mother Earth and to the infinite energy and love in the universe. Gosh, I love that, don't you? Physically, it stimulates energy, stamina, endurance, shaking out apathy of disinterest. It fills you with zest for life and remotivates you toward goals. It teaches how to fully inhabit your body with your feet firmly on the ground. Okay, so zebra stone is a grounding stone. And I have so many babies. I'm sorry. The way I see this is in reverse, I think, of you guys. So I'm not sure if you're seeing this straight up or is it looking backwards, but you guys let me know. Come in and introduce yourself. Say hello so that I can see what you're talking about and who you are and who's joined me. Let me know what you're sipping on. The best part about Tea Talk Thursdays is the interaction with you guys. So let's look at this again. The zebra stone. It is a stone that can help us connect to Mother Earth and to the infinite energy and love in the universe. Physically, it stimulates energy, stamina, endurance, shaking out apathy of disinterest. It fills you with zest for life and remotivates you towards goals. It teaches how to fully inhabit your body with your feet firmly on the ground. All right. So that is one of the stones that I have. Oops, I done ripped my bag, guys. Oops. That's because I was holding on to it and didn't realize it. All right. All right, guys. So the other ones that I have, I've already kind of talked about those. But of course, I always keep my clear quartz. Got to have a piece of clear quartz. And this one's really great because as you can see, it's clear where you can almost see through the bottom of it. And it gets a little bit more smoky in the middle. And then it's solid white on the end. So it literally is 3 levels. I actually bought this at a Native American store on my way to Arizona last year. And I just love her. I've dropped her, lost her, found her. I never lose them for too long. All right. Tea Talk Thursdays. Does anybody have anything on their mind they'd like to talk about? Well, I'm going to go ahead and pull the tarot. I'm going to go ahead and pull the tarot because I will be pulling our cards for the week, This is a Tea Talk Thursday. Of course, I only do it on Thursday. But this is going to be so that I can pull and see what the cards have to say for us this week. I know that there are a lot of people on YouTube that do tarot cards, and you know, everybody has their own little zest for how they do it. When I do Tea Talk, or when I do my tarot, my one card readings, I honestly don't use the tarot in my daily readings when I do readings for people. And I would strongly suggest, if you're going to have a psychic reading, ask the person, can they give you a reading without the cards? If they say no, they don't like to, they only like to use the cards, I would not necessarily go to that person. That's just my personal opinion. Because I believe a psychic, first of all, I believe anybody can learn how to do tarot cards. If you're just willing to, if you're willing to study the little book that comes in it, you'll learn what all these are, right? So you don't have to be a psychic to be able to do tarot cards. And there's a lot of people who are not psychic that just are really good at doing cards. And that's cool as long as that's what you know, that's what you want. But if I had to choose to go to someone who is a tarot card reader only and go to someone who is considered a psychic, I'm going to a psychic who can read cards because I want her to tell me stuff that may not be in the cards. And that's just my personal preference. I mean, if I'm going to pay psychic money, I want to be dealing with a psychic. And just in case anybody is wondering, again, I am a certified life coach who happens to also be a psychic. So I wanted to talk today. I always find a subject, and usually there's a lot of participation, but I understand this is my first live video. I understand that the participation wasn't really going to be here because I don't really have a lot of followers right now, and I get that, okay? But that's not going to define the situation at all. Either they're going to come, so I'm not worried about that. Tea Talk Thursdays have been what I feel to be very successful on Facebook, and I enjoy them immensely. I really do. I love it. Because normally, like I said, when I go live, I'm usually working. I'm usually doing free readings and stuff. So in that case, it's just different because Tea Talk just requires me to be more of a life coach and more of just a person talking and connecting with people. That's why I really do prefer the feedback, the interaction. That's the best part of it. So today's topic, I normally don't think too much on the topics. I honestly just come. I'm like, what? It's so interesting. Just when you know you're getting older, right? Because I will sit back and see. Sorry, my hair is all disrespectful. I will sit back and see something on my hair that looks like I got flakes, and then I'll pick it and find that it's gray hair. I know y'all can't see a whole lot of it, but it's up in there. There's some gray hair up in here. I washed my hair last night. I didn't get to bed till 2, but I washed my hair last night. And don't you love the way your hair feels after you wash it? It's almost like it makes you want to go, just so you can smell it, right? It smells so good. I can't believe how long my locks have grown in the time that I've been growing them. It's unbelievable. Believe it or not, I was a girl called bald-headed when I was younger. This is amazing. But I wanted to find something to talk about today that I felt is something that for me, I found it very difficult. How do you move on? That's a topic. And I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, so I'm going to time myself to keep it short and sweet. But how do you move on? when you have given your all and you've put your all, your hopes, your dreams, everything. You've invested your time, you've invested your money, you've invested your energy into someone else, and it doesn't work out. How do you move on? I felt like nobody could understand what I was going through or where I was at when I was going through my divorce. I was in a very dark place. I even tried to create a Facebook group for people who were experiencing a breakup. Needless to say, there wasn't no participation. So I was like, well, I'm not going to waste my energy in here. And this is not a place that people want to come and talk. But what do you do? What do you do? Share with me your thoughts. What do you do when you've done all that you can do? When you love someone and maybe you love them more than they love you, or when you feel like you put up with all their stuff and you were patient and you were all that and you're trying to do everything you can do and you feel like you didn't get it back. What do you do when you've been married to someone for 20 something years and they walk in and say they want a divorce? What do you do? What do you do? How do you bounce back from that? How do you recover from that? How do you recover when you have someone that or what do you do when you make the decision that you leave? Some people think if you're the one that ended the relationship, then therefore somehow it's supposed to be easier for you. That, oh, well, since you ended it, you're good. But what do you do when it's over, when it's done? When all your work and sacrifice and energy, when all of it is gone and it's done, what do you do? What do you do? Well, I'll tell you. I think it takes a lot of soul searching because I think it's natural because a lot of times a breakup is about, you know, a breakdown, right? And I think it's a lot of hurt, a lot of misunderstanding, some unresolved issues, some things that had absolutely nothing to do with you, but everything to do with them and how they feel about themselves and how they feel about their family and what they feel that their thinking is, their filters, right? Do they feel worthy? Do they not feel worthy? Some people are like a cup with a hole in it. Like no matter what you put into them, no matter how many times you tell them that you love them, no matter how many ways you try to show them that you love them, they just can't embrace that. They can't embrace it because that's about them. It's all about them and not about you. And they just don't or can't embrace the love that you have to give. Now, some people treat their love like one size fits all. They feel like, hey, this is who I am. This is how I love. This is what I do. I do this for her. I've done this for every woman I've been with. Well, guess what? Maybe it worked for one, but it may not work for the others. It's not. Love is not a one size fit all. Okay? That's not what it is. It's not what it is. I feel, though, the more that you can take your finger from doing this and do like this and say, what part did I play? Maybe you didn't do them wrong. Maybe you didn't cheat on them. Maybe you didn't do the things that were done to you. Well, what did you do? If they verbally abused you and you stayed, then guess what? You still participated, right? You stayed in the dysfunction. That's not about blame. It's about accountability and responsibility. What part did you play? When you were called out your name, when you were pushed, well, he didn't hit me, he pushed me, or, well, I don't have a job, so she takes care of me. So therefore, so then we allow ourselves to be in something and experience something that isn't right for us because of whatever our situation is. So the first thing I would say to anybody who is experiencing a breakup, or should I say a breakdown, is that you can then have a breakthrough. It hurts like hell. I'm not even going to front. I'm not even going to lie to you. But what I would say is look at yourself, try to take accountability for the part that you played. Because I don't care what you say. You can sit back and say, oh, well, I didn't do anything. I was good. I was good to them. Okay, you may have been good to them, but you could have been someone who couldn't communicate. You could have been good to them, but you could have still been someone who didn't listen to them. You could have been good to them, but still give them the crack of your ass to kiss. Like, let's just keep it real. You still could have been good to them, but still was bad in some way. Or y'all just were not compatible. Even if the fact is I was with somebody I should have never damn been with in the first place. Like, there is accountability. There absolutely positively is accountability. Okay? And that's the first step. You have to take accountability for the part that you played. Number two, I believe that when you look at the circle of accountability and you look at what they did, what you did, what they did, what you did, it's like on some level, it makes sense. The first time you found that girl's phone number, or you found an email, or you found a text, and you still let them tell you, even though you knew it was inappropriate, it was wrong, you let them talk you out of being whatever, leaving whatever, and you still stayed. That is also a part of accountability. If you stay after someone has shown you who they are, you have to own it. There are no victims in this situation like that. We all have accountability in the things. Look at it, because if you can see what part you played, it's almost like it gives you compassion for the other person. It gives you compassion for what they did, because you understand that sometimes had you not put yourself in that situation, it would have never happened. You wouldn't have been there for that to happen to you. I recognize that for a long time, my self-confidence, right? What I thought about myself. And that's simply because I experienced a lot of molestation and rape in my life. And of course, you just kind of feel like if don't nobody else values you, how can you value yourself? And so that thinking sticks with you for a long time, and it affects your relationships. It affects, when people are cursing at you and loud talking at you, and they don't want to hear what you have to say. And it's like cutting you off and don't ever want to have a conversation like grown folks are supposed to have, and you stay. All of that is still a part of the abuse, right? It's a part of the cycle. So we have to learn to forgive ourselves, and we have to learn to have compassion. And what I would say is the number one thing that we do is when we're dealing with stuff like that, we like to isolate ourselves. I would say that's one of the worst things you can do. I mean, take time for yourself. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't take time for yourself. What I'm saying is don't isolate yourself. Go to your friend's house, even if you're over there on the couch. Like, staying and isolating yourself away from people is one of the worst things you can do in a time when you already feeling down and out. Okay? So my thing is force yourself to get out. Force yourself to figure out what do you need to be happy. Y'all see me looking down. I'm stoking the sage. That's the only thing about this kettle, boy. It's like it won't, you gotta move stuff around to keep it burning. You know, it's like it burns where it's at and then it dies down and you gotta keep moving around. Um, and is that I will say is that make sure that you don't isolate yourself. Find find who you are. A lot of people, come on guys, we gotta stop doing this. A lot of people, when you get hurt and you going through some stuff, first thing we do is like we don't know who we are. Figure out who you are. Figure out what you need to be happy. Stop putting more into other people than you put into yourself. We got to stop that, y'all. I'm telling you, we got to stop that. Stop putting more into other people. If you do more for other people than you do for yourself, what you're saying is that they're more important than you, that they matter more than you matter. And if that's really how you feel, that's the work. You guys will always hear me say that. That's the work. That's the work. Because you should never treat nobody better than you treat yourself. Now, does that mean be narcissistic? No. Does it mean, it's all about you? No. But you should never take time to pay for someone else to have massage, have their nails done, all of that, but you won't take time to love on yourself. You won't take time to soothe yourself, rejuvenate who you are. You got to do stuff to build yourself up. Like that song says, encourage yourself by Donna Lawrence. You got to encourage yourself. You got to love yourself. You got to build yourself. So that's what I'm going to say. Anybody who's dealing with a breakup or a breakdown, I want you to know that it is your breakthrough. I want you to know that no matter how you're feeling right now, I promise you, if you stop focusing on what you lost and you start focusing on what you gained and what you want to gain, that energy, that synergy, it will all turn it around for you. It will all turn it around for you. Okay? So, now, I see time is ticking, and I know YouTube is all about the minutes. So, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull the Daily Tarot. Then if anybody has any questions, we can address it. I'm going to pull them the way they come out, and then I'm going to study them for a second, and then I'm going to discern them. And then I'm going to tell you what it's telling me the message of the day is. All right? All right. All right. So the first card is Rejoice in Celebration. Do y'all see that? And it's a 3. This card was in reverse. I'll discuss that in a minute to get to that. The next card is Transformation. This card also is in reverse. Okay, guys, what's going on with y'all today? Okay. This card is Temptation. How about it's in reverse too? All right. Give me a minute, guys. All right. So individually right now, let's just deal with temptation. The temptation card, first of all, we already know. That means there's something that somebody shouldn't be doing or not falling prey to bad influences. The fact that this is in reverse says that maybe recently somebody was made an offer of some sort, or if they weren't made an offer, maybe they came into a situation. Okay, you guys will find I do that when I'm zoning out in my psychicness. I'll stare to the corner or I'll stare up there. That's just me pulling the information from the ether. So just bear with me, okay? Matter of fact, give me a second. Okay, so I'm feeling like somebody was in a situation lately or recently that they were very much tempted by something. I don't know if it was a person, money, an opportunity, tempted to do something that was not necessarily in their best interest. But the fact that it's in reverse is making me feel that you did really well at dodging that bullet. Now, I do see there are some viewers. So does this touch anyone who is viewing? I understand you guys have been quiet. Can you please give me some feedback? Um, has there been anybody recently who has had a situation that they felt that they were tempted, but made a decision not to move forward, and whatever that was, whether that was flirting, cheating, a business venture that wasn't so on the up and up. Okay. But this card is in reverse, which says you did a really good job of dodging that bullet. Thank you, Courtney, for the feedback. Okay. Now, this card here, transformation, of course, all that is good, all that is about that. Transformation, changing your mindset. I feel that. Ooh. Changing your mindset, changing the way you do things, but it's in reverse. You're stuck. Having problems, getting out of your own way, stuck, moving out of old thinking and old habits. Anybody else? Who's this card related to as well? Who's trying to make a change but just feels like they keep slipping back? Rejoice and celebration is the last card. It's a beautiful card. It says all the seeds that you have sown, you will reap. This card was in reverse. Also, let me mention something that is really very interesting. The number 3. Y'all see that? Number three speaks to your spirituality. Again, spirituality is not about religion. Your spirituality is, it speaks to that. And with rejoicing and celebration, I don't know if that means that there's something that you should be celebrating, but you're not. Or does that mean well, let me ask you this. Did anybody have a recent anniversary come up? And I'll tell you why I'm asking. Because even though three is about spirituality, cups normally represents love and rejoice and celebration, but it's in reverse. Did anybody have a recent anniversary or a special occasion that it should have been a cause for celebration, but someone was unable to celebrate it for whatever the reason? Come on, guys, I need your feedback. I need to know what this is. All right, y'all don't want to tell me nothing. All right. Sometimes I rearrange the cards to see. Okay. I think I'm getting a better picture. Okay, so overall, because again, this could be for someone who will watch this later, if not for now, since no one's giving me feedback. I'm feeling like this is speaking to somebody who is in a relationship. And I believe maybe because of this relationship, you're trying to change your ways, trying to turn over a new leaf, trying to do things differently. But it's really hard for you to be different than how you've always been. I believe that you could have been put in a precarious situation where maybe somebody else came of interest to you or sought you out, wanted to try to tempt you into doing something that you didn't want to do, not used to doing, or you're trying to be like, hey, I don't do that anymore. That's not who I am. But I feel that it's possible that there's trouble in paradise when it comes to a celebration of a relationship or something. I don't know if this temptation, I don't know if the person, I don't know. This just feels a little something, something to me. I'm feeling like it all is surrounding a relationship. That maybe this is a time when, as it deals with cups, that y'all should be in a happy place. Y'all should be celebrating. Y'all should be on a different page. But unfortunately, you're finding it hard to be different than how you normally are. And I don't know, maybe there was a temptation or whatever, which is causing the issue within the relationship or something. But Whatever it is, I would strongly just say that you really got to work on yourself. It all begins with you. These are our cards. I'm going to turn them upright so that you can see them again. Rejoice and celebration, but it was in reverse. Temptation, it was in reverse. Maybe things are not going well in the relationship, and that's why. Maybe that's the reason for the change. Maybe that's the reason for the temptation. That's the reason for the transformation not going as well. It's very peculiar, though, honestly. All right, guys. I would just strongly say that focus on the transformation of self. You focus on transforming your thinking and your way of being. I believe alignment will happen for you. Everything will fall into place for you. Okay? I'm really good on dodging that temptation. Because everything that glitters ain't gold. So, is there anyone that has any questions for me? I want to tell you again, thank you. Yeah, you got to trust the process for sure, all the time. And trust yourself, right? Trust that yourself will not lead you astray, and know the difference between being in your head and hearing self guide you, because it's very different. It's very different. Absolutely. It's very different. Yeah. I know that there's a lot of people out there hurting, dealing in a breakup. God, it's one of the most painful things for sure, especially when you put your all in it. But like I said, your breakup, your breakdown can all be your breakthrough. It really, 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 really boils down to how you choose to see it. And again, do not forget to order some cookies from Mia. Mia's cookies are $12 a piece. I told you I got one right here. This is a chocolate chip walnut. No. Is it a chocolate chip walnut? Yeah. I thought we get chocolate chip oatmeal. Okay, anyway, this is chocolate chip walnut. And you see how big it is? And it's thick. The other ones are thicker. They're really heavy. And she can do the classic chocolate chip. She can add pecan, walnuts, macadamia. She can do the oatmeal raisin. Look, I got oatmeal raisin with walnuts. She can do sugar cookies, snickerdoodle, and she will customize them. If you say, hey, I want pecans and walnuts, she'll do it. $12 a dozen. That's like $1 a cookie, and they're huge. And there's so many more flavors, but this was all she could think of for right now. All right. Check out Mia. Give her a call. 404-951-2448. I'm telling you. And she delivers, right? And she's here in Atlanta. So place a good order with her. She might be able to bring it out the next day. Well, that's what she does to me. When I place an order, she brings it the next day. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being a part of my first video. I love you guys. I thank you so much. I'm not used to cutting it so short, but nobody wants to sit back and have a long, drawn-out video on YouTube. Facebook, different story. YouTube, not so much. So I'm still stoking the fire. What did I tell you guys? But again, I thank you so much. And believe me, this show is going to get a lot better. I'm going to have to streamline it. And I might even have to narrow it down to just a 30-minute video, honestly, because an hour might be too long in the beginning, because people aren't really used to me yet or know who I am over here. But I'm still going to be great. I'm still going to keep doing the work. You guys do your work, okay? Do your work. Mahatma Gandhi said, whatever you do will be insignificant, but it's still important that you do it. Make sure you do your work, okay? Make sure you do your work. And your work is not waiting on some magical fairy to come on and tap you in the head and then you're just going to change. Work means you actively have to do something. Read a book, attend a workshop, talk to a therapist, get on medication, like do something. You have to do something to do different. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting different results. No, you're gonna have to actually do your work. You have to put that energy in, put that effort in, and it's all gonna work out for you. And you'll come out on the other side bigger and better, stronger, more knowledgeable, wiser. But if you choose to spend your breakup focusing on what the other person did do or didn't do, you're going to miss the whole purpose. You're going to miss the whole purpose. Focus on who you want to become. Focus on what it's going to take to make you happy. And don't expect other people to make you happy. That's not their job, and that's way too much damn responsibility to put on somebody. Look at it. You see, I got disrespectful locks. Make yourself happy. Make yourself happy. If you don't know what it takes to make yourself happy, then ask yourself, what do I need so that I can be happy? What do I need so I can be happy? If you ask, the answer will come. Now be ready when you ask. Because if you ain't ready and you ask and you get the answer and you ain't ready for the answer, hey, what can we say then? All right, just in case anybody was wondering again, I like to use the Psychic Tarot because they have no negative meanings. Everything is beautiful and blessed and working in your favor. So you guys have an amazing day. I will see y'all next Thursday at Tea Talk Thursday. I love you guys. Take care.